Cerebon came out, dropped an amazing video. Okay, basically slapping up every pony narrative that existed about Xbox being dead, Xbox not making next gen because ROG Xbox Ally shows they're only going to use third parties to make their console because the rumor was that the handheld was dead, right? And the homie Cerebon came out, who we did not get to meet at Summer Games Fest, but she was in the building. So next time, gotta make that happen. Same thing with Phil. Um, so she came out, amazing video, just destroying every pony narrative that exists. Right, gone. Bam, 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 bam.
Whoa, be careful with that weapon, babe.
It's violent. It's a violent weapon. It is.
You gotta chill.
But, you never know what I'm gonna do.
You don't know what he got
You never
whooping
know
out.
what type of finger blast is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's going down.
I mean, pow,
But either way, but yeah, so she came out with this amazing video and we watched it and we kind of went through it on Tuesday. And AMD, they did a couple of posts as well to basically, back up what Sarah was saying. But then today, out of nowhere, 2 days after, Lisa from AMD went ahead and dropped her own video, going ahead and basically really trying to put the emphasis here on what's happening and how this is not just your typical AMD. Because if Xbox is saying it, right, and Sarah's saying it, you expect it, right? You expect it because, of course, they're going to gas up what they're doing, right?
Absolutely.
But you remember, AMD is also working with PlayStation on
Yes.
whatever is next for them. And again, you'll see clearly how they don't know what the fuck is next over there for PlayStation quite yet. Whereas over here, it's such a clear, defined vision and game plan they're implementing that they literally needed to come out and put their own bars on it. So let's go ahead and watch the homie from AMD go ahead and give her bars on what is happening. Let's make sure I can do this right. So we're gonna do this.
AMD and Microsoft are advancing a bold shared vision for the future of gaming, one that enables seamless gameplay across any screen, placing gamers at the center of the experience anywhere. We're so excited to be deepening our relationship with Microsoft and build on the over 2 decades of partnership, innovation, and trust. From the earliest days of the Xbox 360 to the most advanced consoles such as the Xbox Series X and S, and the recently announced ROG Xbox Ally handhelds. Moving forward, AMD will go beyond building custom chips for Xbox consoles to designing a full roadmap of gaming-optimized chips combining the power of Ryzen and Radeon for consoles, handhelds, PCs, and the cloud. And we're doing it all with backwards compatibility, so gamers can access their favorite titles across platforms, delivering on a promise to both gamers and developers. Together, we are building a vibrant open ecosystem that delivers the next generation of graphics and immersive gameplay powered by AI that includes new foundational models to accelerate the state-of-the-art in rendering. From console to cloud to handheld, AMD and Microsoft are building the future of immersive gaming. We are so excited to be working with Microsoft to bring all of this tech to gamers everywhere.
The future of immersive gaming. Holy
The
crap.
future
Okay. All right.
of immersive gaming. Not some generic, we're going to do some great stuff in the future. No, this will be the future. So what I want to do, we just saw it, right? So what's your hot take? And then what I want to do is I want to go back and break it up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Go through all her bars and what they mean and why each, I feel like every 10 seconds she made a pony cry. You know what I'm saying? Like it just became more and more real to them.
It's almost like that was the goal, right?
I feel like it. I feel like she was not being sensitive at all to the ponies that might be watching this. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at some point you got to, break the chains and just like take off, go ahead and fly. Listen, I feel like this is obviously Xbox is putting in the money, right? They're going ahead and investing in the future. The future. That's the problem. I feel like PlayStation, what they've done is kind of hold everything back. So this is exciting.
It is. It is. And it's great to see that commitment again. Um, there was like other topics we were gonna do that we didn't have time to. We might roll it over, but like it's even like obviously we knew, right? We knew that this was the plan,
Yeah.
right? They pretty much told us all of this, right? If you were paying attention. But I feel like at every turn there was some bullshit story that was trying
About
to
the backwards
like shut it
compatibility,
all
about,
down.
everything kind of working seamlessly. It just they always want to put something out there that they kind of come in and debunk in one shot. And I think that they were earmuffs when these things happen because somehow they don't hear it, right? Um,
Exactly.
but yeah, it seems like they've heard everything that's been going on out there. And Sarah came out, like you said, like you mentioned before, and it's like, all right, let's put an end to this nonsense and kind of clarify the situation. And this is a doubling down over here with Lisa that's taking place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Let me go ahead and let's go through excuse me. Actually, before we move forward, let me get my boy Do You Can't Out the Broke Boy inside with that too. Which I appreciate you, homie. Says CMoney
Yo,
versus Vision Works, optometrists and lens crafters. Damn, all three, all three. That's fucked up. Dark Angelic, my
I
dude, thank
mean,
you for
come
being a
on,
member for
man.
18
Dark
months.
Angelic, what's up?
Holy shish kebabs. Says, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Says, hey fam, thanks for a year and a half of fun laughs and
Oh.
100% pink Himalayan pony sauce. Boy, putting
I
crying.
mean, it's
This
the best
crazy
salt.
world wouldn't be the same without all of you. Thank you.
Oh,
Oh, that's dope, Dark Angelic. Oh
oh,
man,
we love you, Dark Angelic,
tear.
and Queen Witch as
Appreciate you
well.
guys. You guys are the shit.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
That was so dope.
That was nice. All right, let's dive in because she has a lot of stuff to say, and on the internet, on Twitter world,
Okay,
they've taken a bunch of her kind of statements and made them into news items. So we're just going to
go through it all.
go through it all
Let's go.
as she says it. Uh, so let's continue here.
Microsoft are advancing a bold shared vision for the future of gaming, one that enables seamless gameplay.
Well, let's back up just for a second because I feel like there's something here that's
Hmm.
important. She says it's a bold shared vision.
It's almost like and this is a big deal, right? They're working together, but the fact that, they're kind of it's like a collab, right? They're kind of it's highlighting that relationship and what they're bringing to the table. But yeah, the bold, right? So we're looking at something that maybe has not been no, right?
Mhm.
Sarah Bond did say, and I've held on to these words because they keep trying to knock the situation. They keep trying to put out there, how Xbox is dead, that they're moving forward without having a console, right? That they're tapping now, and that's why they're putting the games on the PlayStation platform. But she did mention that the biggest technological leap when it comes to their next box, right? And so to
It's true.
boldness, it just sounds like that, right? We're going to go ahead and push the boundaries and do something that's never done before when it comes to, coming in with a new gen. Um, so obviously Xbox, they're very open when it comes to obviously scooping up studios and kind of not just telling them exactly what to do, but working together because that's how you get the best of something, right? The best,
100%.
of a studio artistically. And even right here, they're working together. They're sharing their shared vision. So whatever they both brought to the table, they've tweaked and they've maximized what that idea can be. Um, So that's promising.
I mean, it's the crazy shit is that like people are like dumbfounded at what Microsoft is doing, right? And it's like, yo, Microsoft, they've been ahead of the curve always, right?
Hmm.
And they can see what's happening. That's why they're a $3 trillion plus company,
It's
and Sony's still in the baby gap when it
hmm
comes to how much they have available to them, right?
Well,
So it's a
it's
very different,
ambition, right? They've always been ambitious. They've always wanted to do more.
but they're
PlayStation's always on
ambitious
that little nook where they
with the
just want to,
vision.
exactly, they just want to take from you and continue to stay in that comfort spot doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, and that's clearly not something Xbox is okay with. And like the idea that people thought that there would be a whole nother generation where the same thing was going to take place when we've been watching movies digitally
Hmm.
with no problem
Yep.
whatsoever. Uh, Literally, they have movies anywhere, a platform that you buy the movie, and then your digital copy goes there, and every movie from anywhere will be there because that's where they allow you to put your digital copy, right? Like music is all everywhere, right? YouTube Music has every song, Amazon Music has every song, Spotify has every song, right? It's just which place do you prefer to
Hmm.
listen, right? What benefits does each place have and how does it fit best in your life,
Yeah.
right? How did all these short-sighted people believe that someone wouldn't go ahead and be the one to say, you know what? Gaming should be wherever you want to play your games.
Exactly.
And there's
Exactly.
only one person who could do it, and that was Microsoft.
Hmm.
They're the only ones who had the capability of doing this because they already had the biggest platform with gaming on the PC, right? Obviously, mobile gaming is crazy huge, but we're talking about more of the console type gaming, right? Like that type, controller,
Yes.
keyboard, and mouse gaming, not touchscreen gaming like a mobile.
I mean, you know, mobile gaming. That's why they bought ABK, right? A lot of people like to think that it's, you know, this was
Yeah,
the
they have
Call of Duty move,
King.
and that wasn't.
Yep.
That was just what came with it as well, which was freaking amazing. But yes, the main reason was because of mobile gaming, right? So they have been expanding, and if you and that's what's so weird, the idea that, you know, we talked before, and we talked about how, you know, there's pony on pony crime going on over there and how they're not happy with the situation. They shouldn't have been happy for a long freaking time. How do you not see this play out? And the same thing here, like, you've seen what they've been doing. How did you not understand that it was going to come to this? Even the conversations, you know, with games on PlayStation, like, it's on a Fire Stick, right? You can get Game Pass through a Fire Stick. That wasn't a problem. You can go ahead and download Game Pass through an app on your TV, right? Certain TVs have that. Like, where do you think that this was going to go? Obviously, they're trying to be everywhere and going ahead, and like they said before, there are just so many players out there. So, yes, we're going to look at PlayStation, the boxes that they have, and how we're going to make that work for us. So, it just everywhere, no money left behind. This is an Xbox, and so is that.
I mean, I gotta tell you, like I'm pretty um I'm pretty happy about the idea that as far as this channel is concerned and
Mhm.
you and I and how we've handled all this stuff, like I feel good about the fact that we saw the vision
Yeah.
almost immediately. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And we saw how it made sense. And that's why we weren't out there crying and doing all this bullshit, you know,
Exactly.
shit talking, only to then turn around and come back and do the same thing, which was is what we're seeing. And we'll probably talk about it in the show tomorrow. But it's like, you know, now all of a sudden these people are coming back and now they see the vision because
Yes.
of these videos, right? Now they see the vision, but like
You had a
you're
shovel ready to bury the
yeah,
Xbox.
like you have this big
Like,
platform,
mhm.
and this is to show you guys how having a big platform doesn't mean shit about what you can think about in your head
Yeah.
and what you can understand and comprehend, right? So the fact that you needed them to fucking spell
Spell
this
it
shit
out for
out for
you.
you
Yep.
in crayon to
With a crayon,
to
damn
be
feet.
able to see the
Yeah.
vision now, and now you're back. Now you're back because you can see that there's no losing for them.
Yeah.
And when you look at the other side, what is your option?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're back. That's why you can see the vision now.
Yeah.
The
That
vision was
does make
always
sense.
there. The vision was
It
always
was
there.
always there. It was never something where anything was taken away from us, where like we weren't given, we were deprived with games. Like it was always the best subscription service out there, the biggest, baddest games over here. Like it never lacked. So to go ahead and try to grab a shovel and bury a platform and go on the parade because I don't know, maybe they let some people go or they close something off or they're not making another game because it didn't do well, right? Or perform well enough. Like these are things that should not have to be explained for anyone to understand that this is a business as well and that it needs to go ahead and make money and that the vision you may not understand it but they're telling you what's what and you're still fighting it. So it's like take a seat. And we said it a lot, and a lot of people were on board. Like, go ahead, throw your tantrum, go, but then stay the fuck away. But that's not what they do. And it is what it is. But it's just like hopefully at some point the crying will end.
Agreed. Agreed. So I mean, listen, I'm glad that all of a sudden now, Xbox is the cool kid back again, and everybody's like, oh yeah, this is probably going to work. And it's not gonna fail as all the ponies would love it to be failing.
I think
Uh
also seeing PlayStation canceling all those games, seeing the fact that even when they do come out the games are not doing well because there's always been this whole thing where they need Xbox to behave like PlayStation, and unless PlayStation was you know almost buried out the way that they are right now, there was always this desire, right? And it's like what's this admiration,
Well, I mean,
right?
it's clear, like, when you look at them now, they have no roadmap for their own future. They're still trying to figure that out. And then even when you think about how much everything has been failing in front of their eyes, they're still doubling down on the idea that live service is going to be their thing. And it's like, what PlayStation fan wants to hear that,
Exactly.
right? You were here for the single player games, but either way, uh, let's get back to this kind of breakdown. So yes, bold shared vision, AMD, Xbox united in the idea of making this work. And this is the crazy part. Like AMD being on board with this, they're making sure that all the different things that they're going to be working on, the handhelds, the computer stuff,
Hmm.
cloud stuff, right? It's all getting enhanced, it's all going to work together. They're the ones who make it, right?
Yeah.
So if they're making things for everything versus just whatever they make for PlayStation, which actually PlayStation did, or Mark Cerny came out and said that the shit that they are working on with AMD is not just for them.
Hmm. He
So
did say that. He did say that because I know
that's
the
funny.
pisser was such a mess and he wanted to let everybody know that,
So
that's
Hargeet
dead and done.
did say that why not PlayStation just make an Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
just make their own. And when you think about AMD's plan of all these different things they're working on, and then when you go back to remember that Mark Cerny said the thing that they're working on with AMD is not even for PlayStation itself, seems like maybe they're in on it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they want a little piece of the Microsoft plan.
Who wouldn't though?
I
That's
mean,
the
I think
thing.
so
Who
too.
would not?
Future of gaming, one that enables seamless gameplay across any screen. Play
I love the idea of what she just said, and I don't
Hmm.
know if she meant it that way. Um, but if you remember on Google Stadia, this never actually came out,
Hmm.
but they showed it,
Yeah.
which was when I hear seamless gameplay across any screen, they showed where you would be playing on your like on your phone, right? and then pause the game, go to your laptop,
Pick right back up.
open it up, press
Mhm.
play, like start the game, and you will be right where you were.
Yep.
And then you can turn that, pause that and go to the console and do that same thing, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, imagine a world where you go ahead and you're literally playing a game, and instead of it being something where you have to stop, save, exit, and then go to your PC or your phone and then restart from wherever the last save was,
Yeah.
right? To just being able to be like, oh, hold on, let me just pause the game right here, turn off your phone, go on your console, sit on your couch, press turn it on, and you go to that game and is right where exactly where you were. Because that's one of the big things, right? Like quick resume. We all know quick resume is the
Yep.
shit, right?
It is.
It's super dope. Love it, right? But it's only on console. And if you are like us, where we do have, the PC and cloud that we do bounce around, right? We're not just a Xbox console box owner. We're part of the Xbox ecosystem,
Mhm.
right? We have every entry point that's available to us. So if you're playing on your Xbox and you pause the game and then go back play 5 other games, go back, play that game, you're right where you were, right? That's quick resume.
Yep.
This would have to be quick resume in the cloud, right? It would be quick resume in the cloud that will allow you to go ahead and go from one device to the next.
Yep.
Because right now, if I am playing a game, a single player game on my Xbox, and it's, pause it, quick resume is there, and then I leave to go play on a PC, well, one of two things will happen. One, it'll take me to the closest checkpoint
Mhm.
from where I was, right? Or it won't register that I even played that session
Yep.
that I
Which
played on
it's
my
happened
Xbox,
before.
because
Yes.
it didn't close out. So it never
Yep.
sent like that signal like, hey,
Done and
you
saved. Go
played.
ahead. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, which can be kind of a pain in the ass, right?
Yep.
So like when I know I'm playing a game on multiple devices, I actually don't use quick resume.
Mhm.
Unless I know the next time I'm going to play for sure will be on an Xbox. I normally will exit out the game completely so that I
Just to
can
play it
go.
safe.
Yeah, because I want to
Yeah.
make sure that my save is going to be able to transfer wherever it needs to be. So this would be like that next level, right? This would be I mean, again, they started it here on the console, but now they're taking it wider. And when I see those words, that's what I'm hearing.
That's what you're
Right?
hearing. Yeah,
I'm hearing
I
quick
get it.
resume in the cloud. Any
On
device
steroids.
on steroids. Any device,
Yeah.
you play the game, you're good to go.
And they've made it clear that they're investing a lot in cloud, right? And trying to go ahead and kind of get that right. So I can only imagine that that's, like you said, this is what they're referring to. This is what they've been also trying to figure out. Um, and this is going to be a part of our next console.
Yeah, I think that would be dope. I mean, I see, first of all, live supremacy in the building. What's up, man?
Yo,
Thank you for
thank you
being
for
here,
rocking
bro.
out, baby.
I see Dark and Jealous says quick resume on cloud will eat up a lot of internet bandwidth though. Um, I don't know what that I'm not gonna pretend to know how they would do it. I would imagine they would try to be able to take some like image of it, and I don't know, be able to just upload that and it automatically finds exactly where you were. I don't know. I don't know the science. Okay, guys. I don't know. I think you guys know me already. So I'm more of an end result type of dude. You know what I'm saying? Again, I just said it before. I don't
Make
know
it
how
happen.
the sauce is made. I just want the sauce to be made, right? And it just feels like that's the next evolution of quick resume,
Mhm.
right? Like
Especially
that's
with
the
everything,
evolution of it.
again, with what they're doing, and they said that they want everything to gel well together and kind of going ahead from place to place seamlessly, and that is what they would have to polish, right? Because the last thing you want, it's what's happening right now. Like you said, if you don't save it, if you're not, you can't do quick resume, you can't hop from one place to the other seamlessly. So that would be the situation that needs to go ahead and get fixed and be taken care of.
Agreed.
However they do it, right? Because obviously we don't know how
Yeah.
that will get done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. Like I said, I don't know how it would go. Like Max says, I'm more of a big picture dude. That's right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And kind of just I see the vision, and somebody go figure it out, right? Like that's the goal here. So, but yeah, I think that's my interpretation of those words, right? That's what I think they mean.
Screen, placing gamers at the center of the experience anywhere.
By the way, if that is in fact what will happen,
Mhm.
there is one group of players who will have access to the game, but not access to this greatness.
Mhm.
And I think we know
Yikes.
who they are. Just saying.
That's
We're so
self-inflicted.
excited to be deepening our relationship with Microsoft and build on the over 2 decades of partnership, innovation, and trust. From the earliest days of the Xbox 360 to the most advanced consoles such as the Xbox Series X and S, and the recently announced ROG Xbox Ally handhelds. Moving forward, AMD will go beyond building custom chips for Xbox consoles to designing a full roadmap of gaming optimized chips combining the power of Ryzen and Radeon for
Full
consoles,
roadmap.
handhelds, PCs, and the cloud. And
Right. Yeah,
we're doing it all with backwards compatibility. So
So
Oh.
that's the so this whole little area right here, right? They're moving beyond this idea of okay, Xbox, you're making a new console, cool. Let's work together. Let's make this chip is going to be great. They're moving from that to okay, Xbox, you're going to be a platform that is attached to many different entry points, right? You're going to be having PC entry points, handheld entry points, cloud entry points, consoles,
Yeah.
not just their console and not a PC, but a console made by other PC makers,
This would be
right?
hilarious if this is what ends up being the next, PlayStation, right? Just slapped up the
It's gonna be
PlayStation
the next
logo,
frontier of
but it
games, dude.
needs to go ahead and work well with everything else, right? The last thing they want is to be outside the building.
You know, it's funny because I remember that Satya
Yes.
made a statement, and I remember everybody running and trying to crucify his comment. Satya said that he was going to redefine
Yes.
what it meant to be an Xbox fan.
You don't need to have the box to be an Xbox fan, right?
Nope.
You don't. It's all about
Nope.
the games,
It's all
right?
about choice.
This is all about choices. Where can having access, what's availability, right? Being able to play where and how you can.
It's the reality of what is going to be our future.
Yeah.
And it's funny because again, they gave him all that shit, and look at what this is now. Not everybody's excited about it. Not everybody's excited about this plan.
I mean, they want, and this is, they wanted to force the hand, and they wanted them to go ahead and either say you're done or tell us exactly what you're doing. And you can't just throw a tantrum and get what you want. Figure it out on your own. Either believe and have some type of trust. Know that if you haven't heard something from them, you should calm the F down, right? And I'm just saying, all those meltdowns were for no damn reason.
Agreed.
Unnecessary.
Agreed. So they are going ahead and they are doing this across all devices. But the kicker, the biggest thing that is literally the narrative that's spun up about the handheld that they just announced. And again, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, on its own. But is this idea of, oh, you can't play every Xbox game.
Yep.
You can't play every Xbox game.
Spot on, C.
Oh, I can't. Oh, shut the fuck up, you stupid dirty bitch. And I feel like I just translated right there what Sarah said in that message. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what Lisa is now saying in this
Yep.
message. It's like, shut the fuck up. Mark Cerny's gonna come out and do another fucking video and be like,
Like with the
listen,
Twitter.
they don't speak for us. They're
Yeah.
stupid. All right.
Some of you have
It's
been running
crazy.
around.
It's crazy. So backwards compatibility
Mhm.
is now on the table for every device that is going to go ahead and have Xbox in the name.
Yeah.
Every PC, every laptop, every handheld, every cloud device, every console that has that Xbox logo attached to it and is part of their ecosystem will have access to every single game that they own.
That's crazy. And as it should be, by the way, and huge for Game Pass.
It is huge.
Mhm.
It's huge. It's a huge thing. And I mean, look, we just saw the showcase, right? And in the showcase, normally Game Pass is the big,
Mhm.
you
The
know,
big deal.
big deal.
Yes.
And it was like, don't get it twisted.
Yes.
A lot of the best shit that you saw there was on Game
We
Pass. There's a
heard you
few things that
screaming. We
wasn't.
heard you.
Yeah, I was
Game
pumped.
Pass.
I was pumped.
We heard you. We heard you.
But the bigger thing that they were pushing, and that shows you their plan,
Mhm.
right? The bigger thing that they were pushing is that everything that they showed is Xbox Play Anywhere.
Yes.
Which means you buy it once and it's available in
Everywhere.
every
Yep.
single device you own
Yep.
that has Xbox attached to it. Xbox PC, Xbox everything. That's huge, right? That's the way forward for them. Okay. And think about
It's
this.
such a big deal because you go ahead, finish your thought.
Well, I was going to say that people worried about Xbox making money.
Mhm.
Think about this. They have third-party developers on board to let you buy their game one time and play it
Everywhere.
everywhere except PlayStation and the Switch.
Yep.
PC, Xbox, cloud, no matter what, you're done. You're good. You're moving.
You know, it's crazy. They're so worried. Xbox keeps giving and giving and give. They're so worried about how much money Xbox is making. Like, just freaking take, right? Like, what is the concern? They wouldn't be giving and spending if they didn't have the money to go ahead and do that, right? And it's funny because they were like, they have so much money, they shouldn't fire anybody, right? Even if they're not even doing what they're supposed to be doing, no one should be let go because they have so much money. It's just, it's such a contradiction. It's so freaking ridiculous. They just use the narrative in whatever way they need to use it to make it sound a certain way.
It's because they have so little like knowledge on the situation, but they just want to talk and hear their own voice for no reason. Because at the end of the day, literally Microsoft made all its trillions off the back of, well, I mean, AI and the cloud and stuff definitely had a big part of it, but the main thing that made Microsoft what it was is Windows. And guess what? Windows, outside of their software suite of, you know, Office and all that stuff, right? Outside of that, everything else on Windows literally is free to the people who build the product.
Exactly.
Steam lives on Windows. And from what I heard, Microsoft is not hurting for money. Even though they don't get anything from any of those other platforms that exist on Windows.
Yeah, I heard they got deep pockets.
I heard they got deep pockets. But no. Sony's the one who's doing it right, y'all. Sony is the one who's doing it. So I say y'all.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I say y'all because I felt like I don't know. I just felt like it was right.
You're feeling yourself.
But Sony's the one who's doing it right. Except they still live on Brokeback Mountain.
I know. Oh, all the way over
All the
there.
way over there.
By
Alone.
themselves.
Alone. It's not even the fun type of Brokeback Mountain for them.
No.
It's a lonely Brokeback Mountain. Lonely. All alone on that Brokeback Mountain.
I mean, a Brokeback Mountain. Is that any fun in any way?
I'm just saying, I
I'm
don't think
just,
so.
yeah, just
I don't think so.
no.
I'm trying to, show you guys that at the end of the day, like the market will tell you who knows what they're doing and who doesn't.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just, the whole I love Xbox, but they've crossed the line bull crap.
Come on, man.
It's just so ridiculous. Like where it was a
To only come
situation where it's
back
like, where did they touch you? Like what happened to you that
tail
we're not
tucked between your
seeing?
legs.
Um
I'm sorry, Microsoft. I should have never done you. I'm so sorry. Farrell Bazaar in the building.
sorry, I was fabbing. Pharaoh, what's good, love?
Fam?
Yo, that's our boy right
Yeah,
there.
that is
But yeah,
that's a good
that's
time.
pabbing. That's pabbing
It
at
is
its
big time
best.
pabbing.
But again, you were mentioning how you buy the game once everywhere. You have access to it. You can go ahead and play it. And again, that's also a kick in the throat for the PlayStation ways. And I think those are the walls that they were trying to break, right? Going ahead and we know with Game Pass, put your game in Game Pass and go sell it wherever you want, right? But that was broken walls, right? What does PlayStation like to do? How do they like to go ahead and suppress these developers? But also, if you want the game, you got to buy it everywhere. Even when they go ahead and do an upgrade, how much do you have to pay over at PlayStation? It's such a pain, right? And it's never gets brought up when Xbox does an upgrade and it's like free, right? They have to either point it out, it has to be pointed out somewhere. Like it's not made into a big deal. When you're paying and they're nickel and diming you everywhere else. Again, big deal that you just have access. It's not here. You bought the game and now you're paying an extra $10 to unlock it here or unlock it there. You just have access to what you paid for, the money that you've invested. And it's funny because Sarah did bring this up as well when she was talking about backwards compatibility, and she was, they're working on forward compatibility and everything that you invest your money in. Like they're protecting your investment, right? It's not there to die, or here buy a new version of this game if you want to go ahead and play it again because the one you bought already, it's no good on the new consoles,
I
right?
wonder what the people who own PlayStations who have some old PlayStation 1 games that they would like to play natively on their console feel, where they might want to plug, just slide in a disc
Mm,
and play a game, but they can't.
yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
It's a good question. Before we go any further with this, I just noticed over here, our motherfucking homie, Dark Angelic, went
Yo,
ahead and
Dark
gifted
Angelic.
5 All Point for Gamer
Thank you
memberships,
so
man.
much. Thank you.
my brother. Appreciate you, homie, so much for your support, man. That is so awesome.
100%. Thank you. Thank you, fam.
Y'all know what to do.
Tell them, baby.
Put the motherfucking welcome to the family emoji in the chat. Welcome our newest
Woo.
members, man. We appreciate
Yes.
each and every one of y'all. Let me see who it was. Dun, 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 dun.
Wow. In
And music.
beats.
You got Mac 228 TH54. You got Thatch. You got Michael. You got Music 72. You got Fuzzy Tomato or
Ooh.
Tomato.
Thank
however
you.
you want to say
Welcome, you guys.
Shout out to you
Welcome.
guys. Thank you so
and
much.
Dark Angelic, thank you so much. Thank
Dark
you.
Angelic, thank you so much, my brother. Appreciate you, fam. You are the man. And he's back with a $2 super chat saying,
Let's go.
Steam Deck couldn't play every Steam game either. Very true. It's definitely interesting how they hold certain things, certain different
to a certain standard. Yep.
But at the end of the day, we know what we're working with. You know what I'm saying? We know what we're working with over here. That's the reality. All right, let's continue on. Let's see what else. But again, obviously the back of Pat is the mic drop, right?
Yeah, it's just crazy the things that these people put out there and the way that you have to keep hearing that and handle it a certain way. Because I can only imagine the conversations behind closed doors about the clownery that takes place in these streets.
Facts. Okay.
Gamers can access their favorite titles across platforms, delivering on a promise to both gamers and developers. Together, we are building a
You know what? Real quick, they brought up developers, right?
Mhm.
And like I could tell you right now, like understand that developers, for the most part, don't make shit after the game is released. Okay.
Exactly.
Unless they're higher up in the company or it's a small enough company that they have like some revenue share. For the
Mhm.
most part, the people who are doing the work, they just get paid to do the work. If the game makes bajillions or not, they're not seeing more money than that. They're not doubling their pay or any of that
No,
bullshit,
it's just
right?
you made what you made.
So, I mean, we've been doing it for a little while now. We went to PAX, spoke to a bunch of different, indie developers,
Yeah.
some bigger ones over there too. And then, just came back from California and went to Summer Games Fest and the Mix, and IGN Live. And in the Mix was another group of, a lot of indies. And then at Summer Games Fest, you had all the big companies, and we got to talk to them all. And even though big company, small company, the individual person who was there, who worked on the game,
Yeah.
who's talking to everybody who's willing to listen, all they care about is getting their game in the hands of players.
Yeah.
They don't care where, they don't care who, they don't care the color, the creed, whatever. They don't give a shit. They just want people playing their games and being excited about what they worked on,
Mhm.
right? And she says it here. Let me just rewind a little bit so the words are on the screen. Delivering on a promise to both gamers and
Developers.
developers, right? And the promise to the developers is that you're going to have more people playing your game than ever before.
Yeah.
And that's going to equal, just like we've seen in Game Pass. Like, let's not get it twisted. We already know that it works for Game Pass. When Game Pass came out and it went ahead and had what was it? Outriders, the Square Enix game, Outriders.
Think
I'm
so.
pretty
Yeah.
sure it's called Outriders. That game came out of nowhere. Last second got put in the Game Pass before it came out
Mhm.
because I guess people weren't pre-ordering that shit. And the game
It's
took off.
a last minute move. Yeah.
The
Like a
game took off, and we heard that even people not in Game Pass were buying the game because of the hype that the Game Pass players had.
Yeah.
So you get word of mouth, right? And in all businesses, word of mouth is king, right? There's no better advertisement for your product than a friend or a family member. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I mean, that's how PlayStation sells so many boxes,
facts.
right?
I mean, that's what it is.
I
Right?
mean,
It's the truth.
yeah.
So for developers, their game being, even though they're just getting that one purchase, unlocking their game amongst all the
Yeah.
different entry points and touch points that you can get into this Xbox ecosystem, gives you that many more voices out there to spread the word, right? And then from there, you end up with more people buying the game, whether more people buying the Xbox Play Anywhere version of the game,
Yeah.
or more people buying it on Steam, or more people buying it on Epic Game Store, or more people buying it on PlayStation, or more people buying it on the Switch too. I mean, this is so desperately needed in
Absolutely.
gaming today. This industry, guys, I know we've had all these great times and I'm so happy with it, but we've had some rough times this
Yeah.
past year, last year, with the amount of layoffs and and studio closures, like shit has been really
Because
bad.
see, I think the big problem in why this is so important and why all of these developers want as many players to go ahead and know about their game and spread the word and play and get and be in the engagement is so important because we've we've talked about like how many games are not even seen. There's so many games coming out and it's that opportunity, that window to go ahead and make something and have it be impactful and have it be seen. It's just getting smaller and smaller. And so a lot of games don't get the recognition that maybe they deserve. They don't get seen as they should. And this allows more of an opportunity that somewhere in any of these platforms that are kind of gelled together and still separate, you're gonna be seen. It's a higher opportunity. So it's important what they're doing for the developers because a lot of them have to, like you said, lay people off, right? A lot of them have to close up shop. A lot of them make that one game that they dreamed of making and that's it for them. They have to, get back to the real world instead of following that dream of making these games. So
That's right.
it just allows their games, their voice, their projects to be seen and heard and potentially create some type of wave so that their next game can be more impactful or bigger and they can start being recognized. Um but yeah, I think that there are a lot of games that in through Game Pass we see it a lot that maybe you wouldn't invest in and then you go ahead and you try it out and you're like, hey, hold up, this is not what I thought. This game is pretty freaking good. And then you get into it, you end up playing the whole game, and it's not something that you would have went out and spend your money in. So it's again, it's important to go ahead
Agreed.
and have this take
Agreed.
place.
100%. I think that it's such a big deal. And
Hmm.
even like again, we were at the mix and we put up a few videos from there. You should definitely check them out. These are some of the indies that we got to hang out with and play their games. And like again, like a lot of these games are on PC and on Steam. And again, we bring up that question and they're like, they already know the answer.
Yeah.
Like they know the angle. I don't even have to say it. They're like, but we really want to bring it to console,
Hmm.
right? But like this is our first game. We
I
have
thought
to.
consoles were dead. CMoney.
Yeah, I know.
Why would they want to bring it a console?
But they want
Um.
they want their game
Yeah.
everywhere, right? They want as many people as possible to play their
Absolutely.
game, and it's like you see them, like they want to. It's like, oh man, we're a small company. Hopefully we can make those
And
connections,
they've
right, and do
they've
these
said it.
things
They've said it. Wish listing is so important because of that. That's what allows them to take
to
those
make those
next
connections
steps.
with the
Yes,
right people. The point is that the fact that Xbox is pushing this again, it is for both sides. This is not one-sided. This is for
absolutely.
Xbox, for their gamers to be able to experience as much as possible how they want to experience it, and it does help the industry with developers being able
Tremendously.
to get their games
Tremendously.
in more hands and having that just the ability to possibly get that word of mouth is huge for them, right?
Remember Power World? And it was in Game Pass, and the game was freaking. It was awesome.
It would not have done what
It
it's
would
done
not
if it
have
was
done
not in
that
Game Pass.
because again, we saw the game and we thought Pokemon's with guns, right? It was so much more than that. And then when players got their hands on it, being able to share videos and pictures and their opinion and hype up the game, right? That they were enjoying and kind of sharing that process, it made more players want to go ahead and get in there. And it's funny because when I remember when it was going to PlayStation and like they were going to get the game and that's almost from what I know as far as we kind of heard because they weren't out here with the numbers and how well the game did over there.
They did not
Exactly.
share updated numbers. Maybe now recently they have over time. I have no
Maybe.
idea, but it definitely wasn't any time recent after they did it, right?
Exactly.
They only shared it when it was Xbox and PC.
And this also another point I want to make when it comes to the developers. This also we see what PlayStation does. Developers in need that may not be able to like finish their game and they need help, and in order to get that help, it's like signing a deal with the devil, right? You just shot yourself in the foot on the foot, and it's like kind of like over for you. You go ahead and you make those deals out of desperation, and this kind of
Great.
protects that from happening, because a lot of the times, PlayStation may end up with some pocket change, but the developers not so much, right? And it just I feel like this is another option that these developers can go ahead and try to be a part of, where they won't get screwed.
It's funny you said that because it was like a while ago, but
Mhm.
that guy Thomas Mueller, I believe, he's the one that's working on that game, No Rest for the Wicked.
Yes.
And he's been outspoken about a lot of different things, but he literally put out a whole breakdown on how you can have a successful game and the studio that made it didn't make shit from
Mhm.
it. And maybe we'll bring it up when there's a little
I
lack of
feel like
topic some
that's
other time, but he
important
did a
at
pretty
some point.
in-depth
I like that.
breakdown of
Yeah.
it, like using real world numbers of how things would play out, and it's like shit, it would be a problem. Uh that being said, before we move forward, we got our motherfucking homie Ryuar in the building
Yo!
with that $2 switch. I appreciate
What's
you,
up,
my bro.
fam? Thank you
Great
for
to see
rocking
you, my
out.
homie.
Happy to see you, bro.
Says Doodle is back.
Yes, baby.
I'm not saying she carries the show, but I mean,
My
come on, bro.
boy.
You don't
That's
think
my boy.
you think I know?
What's up,
I
right?
feel
You
that
are.
shit. That's my
Missed
baby.
you.
When she's not here, I
Thank
feel
you for rocking
lost.
out.
That is just the
Oh,
fact. 'Cause that's my girl.
my baby.
I see Web Dave in the building.
Web Dave, what's up?
What's up, my brother? Appreciate you. Saying welcome back to the queen of on point
Oh,
gaming. Doodle is in the house.
thank you, love.
Thank you.
Thank
homie.
you.
Appreciate you. Love the image. That's dope. The Lego.
Right? The new profile pic.
And how dope was it that I got to hang out with our boy
I
Web Dave
know. That was
live
pretty
and in
cool.
person?
Yes.
My dude. Very dope. Chilling with you, brother. Appreciate
Dave's
you.
the homie.
Can't wait to be able to hang out. Maybe hoping next time Doodle could be there too. Be a fun
Yes.
time. You got Queen Witch in the building.
Oh,
Thank you for being
my
here.
girl.
Says
What's
glad
up,
Doodle is
baby?
back.
Yes.
She is back. That's the truth.
Oh,
That is
thank
the
you,
truth.
baby.
I do see we got our homie motherfucking Spartan 661
Spartan.
in the building.
Let's
And
go.
he has went ahead and gifted 5 on point for gamer memberships,
Yes.
man. That is the fucking homie right there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother. Very, very kind of you, man. Y'all know what to do.
Tell him, baby.
What the motherfucking welcome to the family emoji in the chat. Welcome our newest members, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all.
Yes.
And I do see that we have, what's that? Full Treff. Got RRJR 1017.
Yes.
You got Mass Hole 1977. You got Curie Cosmos. And you got Keith Hammett.
Welcome, you guys.
Welcome, guys.
Spartan
Thank you so
661.
much.
Thank you so much, love. Thank
Spartan,
you.
we appreciate you, my brother.
you.
Thank you so much, man. That's very, very kind of you, homie. Very, very kind of you. All right, let's continue on with Lisa here first.
Together, we are building a vibrant open ecosystem that delivers the next generation of graphics and immersive gameplay powered by AI that includes new foundational models to accelerate the state of the art in rendering.
All right, so this is just personal for me.
Yeah.
My excitement, because everybody keeps fucking saying that, oh, we reached graphics.
Gosh, you know what's crazy? The entire time that we've been like diving into the video, it's funny because there's so much info here and it's only 1 minute and 26 seconds. And when you
Facts.
break it up, there's just so much being said.
Absolutely.
Important things that are being said, but all I can think about, I remember people saying like, how much better can they get? Like, what are you looking for? And it's like, you got to keep pushing. What are you going to do? Stop asking for better graphics and asking for more in what can be done, right? So that we can end up in a situation where they're making games out of freaking what, cardboard? Like, you know,
Facts.
you gotta always want more. How much better can
Gotta
they
push,
get? Just
man.
like TVs get better and everything gets pushed, and you don't think every year Apple finds a way to drop a new phone, right?
Yep. Bigger and better.
Exactly. So if you can do that, we want the same thing with gaming to go ahead and take place. We want those better,
Oh
crisp
man.
graphics, right? We
That's
want
so dope that you
more.
said that. That's
Um,
so dope that you said that because honestly, we are now literally entering, because of Xbox, a
seriously.
world where it will be just like the iPhone in the sense that there will always be a new version of it coming out
Yeah.
that doesn't take away your version that you currently have. But if a new, like, this whole thing is going to be based off of a baseline,
Hmm.
right? Like they're going to be like, listen, it needs to be able to do at least this in this fashion to be able to be considered an Xbox or whatever. But as long as it meets those criteria, everything above and beyond that is just going to be cake. And what's going to happen is that over time, every year that goes by, there are going to be more and more people who are willing to make a new version of the hardware for them, as an OEM or whatever. And you're going to be able to decide whether you feel like it's worth upgrading, it's worth spending more money and buying something new, or just say, nah, I'm good with what I got. And if you want to be somebody who every year updates to the newest console, because let's be
Then you
real,
go ahead and do
I
that.
update every single year to the newest iPhone, um, then you can do that, right? And your experience will just keep getting better. Or if you want to just do every 2 years or every 3 years, like you'll be able to decide on your own
Yeah.
when you want to
When it's
move the
time,
needle
right?
forward.
Rather than just kind of waiting and seeing what's next, what's happening. And the freakouts about not another console should come to an end, right? With this new approach. So yeah, it's kind of like you get to determine and kind of guide the ship.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
there's some people who upgrade their phone every 2 years, every 3 years, every 5 years.
Hmm.
That's gonna really push things forward in a great way, I think.
Agreed.
Choice, right? Choice is king, right? We get to choose what we want to do, which is freaking awesome, right?
Yeah.
But again, just kind of going back to it, but there to accelerate the state of the art in rendering,
Hmm.
right? Immersive graphics. There's still pushing, and that's what I want,
Yeah.
right? That's what I want. That's what I've always loved about gaming. From all the way back for the original Nintendo and these pixels that you can literally count them and see them, uh, to now where you have some experiences that just look so
I think
breathtaking.
yes, and I think that's a big difference, right? When you've grown up with gaming, right, and you're seeing the evolution and you see how things can continue to move forward and how they've pushed forward, you feel like, okay, don't stop, right? There's no
Facts.
need for it. If technology continues to move, so should you. So this is why it's so disheartening when, the shortcuts are made, or you see big companies have ads in their games, or you could add some voice acting and you're choosing not to. So it's just wanting to charge $80 for a game that you made on your old console for the new console. That's embarrassing. That is how you're treating the gamers, and even more so for the gamers to go ahead and say this makes sense. Especially when you're getting value, like you're getting for Game Pass, and we're getting games like Hellblade 2, right? Indiana Jones, like Avowed. Like when you
Facts.
see how stunning games can be, it's difficult to settle and pay $80, for a game that's not up to par. When you
Agreed.
see freaking the next Grand Theft Auto,
Come
yo,
on,
it
man.
looks
Chill. That
insane.
shit looks amazing. And imagine what the next Red Dead will look like after that,
Exactly.
right? And like this is the thing, right? Because remember, guys, Grand Theft Auto is for this generation.
Mhm.
Red Dead will be for the next one.
Yes.
Okay. So don't even but this is the other thing, right? We're looking at, when you talk about Grand Theft, you're talking about like the pinnacle, right?
Yes.
Like the companies that are willing to spend $1 billion to just blow your mind, right?
Exactly.
But this is the thing. Pushing tech the way it is, pushing for the state of the art rendering and all these engines constantly pushing things forward, it democratizes having good graphics in your game,
Mhm.
because there are indie games that look fucking stunning
Absolutely.
and they're not spending $1 billion. Like
Mhm.
what was that?
I know.
The one that we were at the mix, it was on the show Fallen Bloom or Feather.
I thought you were, hold on, now I'm blanking out on the
We're about to put up the gameplay and the interview.
keep an eye out guy.
Of it was something Bloom. It was on Summer Games Fest. I'm pretty sure it was that one. Yeah, it was definitely at Summer Games Fest because then we went that night and played it. Oh man, I wonder if any of you know of something Bloom. It was like a scary looking game. Like it's like she's walking in the house and then it's like a loop, but it
I
gets like
thought you were gonna
crazy.
talk about, like, a game like Expedition 33.
Well, I mean,
Absolutely
yes. I mean,
stunning.
they are a small team, but
Mhm.
they're a small team from like Ubisoft, like
Yeah,
they
but
came
still,
over and they had
yeah.
like this big, they had a baseline of knowledge, but like a team like that, man, I feel bad. We're gonna post it up. Something Bloom, Fallen Bloom or Feather Bloom
Hold
or
on, hold on, let me see if
something
I can.
Bloom. Um Man, I forget the name. And I don't have my phone here. But that game looks amazing. Yeah, it had like flowers in it. Yeah,
Mhm.
that one. No, not Chronos. But either way, like games of that ilk, like this dude, like this is a small game made by a small dev team, just a few of them, and it's like they're able to make something that looks like really good, right? Like stunning,
Yeah.
very lifelike, and on a small budget, right? Like I joked with him and was like, "So how many hundreds of millions of dollars did you spend making this?" He was like, "Oh, nothing," right? And they put it together like in 6 months.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
yeah,
That's
it's like
impressive.
6 months.
That's impressive.
Either 6 months, 5 months, some shit, 4 months it could have been, but I forget. It's on the interview. Um, but Fractured
Oh, yep.
Blooms. Fractured Blooms, I think that's what it's called. Yes. Um, like stunning, beautiful, made in just a short few months. Why? Because the tech is there for them to be able to do that, right?
And
And the
that's the
higher the
yep.
high end gets, the floor keeps rising,
Mhm.
right? And makes it easier and easier for people to make amazing looking stuff. Like shit, dude, some things in Roblox are crazy looking,
They are.
actually.
I mean, the sounds too,
Yo,
they're so realistic.
they
But
do a good job.
I do, I do get what you're saying also with AI and like the technology kind of becoming easier to have access to it. It's gonna be um easier to reach that goal where you're are having quality games, beautiful games. If you have the passion and you have the maybe the story that you want to put in there, depending on how deep of a game you're trying to make, there's just access to things, and it's just becoming easier to go ahead and hit that bar.
Agreed. Agreed. And that's what we want, right? That's what we want. We want to be impressed by these people. We want to still be impressed with gaming. Um,
How do you know? Right, yours says Doodle took CMoney's phone away. He doesn't have it with him. It's wild that you said that I took it away. He doesn't have his phone with him though.
no, I don't have my phone
That's funny.
because the editor is using it right now.
Yes.
She's not
That's
messing around. She got shit. She's not gonna. You think she's gonna wait for this show to be over to get cracking on some stuff? She ain't fucking around. It's my girl, Purple Berry in the building. You know what I'm
that's
saying? She ain't
funny.
fucking around.
She
Uh,
is so good.
she is so good. She's funny.
Yeah.
All right, let me come over here real quick because we have the homie motherfucking Ryu Art.
Ryu, let's
resubbing his
go.
membership. That's what the
Let's
fuck
go.
I'm
Thank
talking
you so
about.
much.
That's my
Thank
dude.
you.
Thank you, my brother. Y'all know what you
Appreciate
got
you.
to do.
Tell him, baby. Tell him what the fuck to do.
Motherfucking welcome to the family emoji in the chat. Welcome back, our boy, Ryu,
Yes.
into our
Thank you
membership. Man. I
so
appreciate
much.
you, my brother. Thank you so much, man. Very kind of
Let's
you, man.
go.
Very kind of you. We got Jonas the Dad in the building with that $2 super chat. Appreciate you. He
Jonas.
says, took 4 on panel to keep CMoney on point, but only one doodle. Yes,
Aw.
that's right.
Thank you, love.
That's right. It's the
Thank
truth.
you.
It's the truth.
Thank
No
you.
one outshines Doodle. And then we have the homie Cerberus a lot in the building.
Yo.
That $2 super chat. I appreciate you, fam.
What's good?
Says, I'm watching this stream on an iPhone 8.
Woo!
Look at that. Look at that. You see?
Thank you for rocking out.
That's
And
what it is,
listen,
man. Appreciate you, fam.
wherever you can get it. You know what I mean? It's like you're not always going to, sit on the couch and watch your TV, right?
Thanks.
It's access, and that's what I feel like Xbox has realized, right? If people are on a lunch break, if people are, waiting for their kids to come out of school, if they're parked somewhere, in the car wash, go ahead, get your car wash, play your games. You do have to make it accessible so that they can hop in wherever they can, however they can.
Agreed. 100%. And that's what's beautiful right now. But I mean, look, this is all so reassuring to hear, right? Because again, I heard people say that the next Xbox wasn't gonna push graphics at all. This is already the pinnacle. It's just gonna be this other stuff. It's like, no, everything's getting pushed. Everything is getting pushed. And then combined with AI and the cloud and all that stuff, it's gonna be a whole different beast, bro. We saw the leak from all that time ago. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Oh. Oh, I didn't want to.
You did a build up and everything.
Yeah, it was a build up. It was wild. It was wild. I saw it happening and I was like, I can't sneeze into this mic. Damn, what was I just about to say? The leak from so long ago.
Yes.
And in the leak, Xbox talked about their new system as doing shit that was never believed to be possible.
Yeah, they've been hinting at this, and
they've been telling us
it's just
years
people
ago,
are selective. Phil also said, and this was so important to go ahead and they look at PCs and they wonder why can't our consoles be instead of a brand new box, we can just you change something in it. We sell something that you can just pop it in and upgrade. It's a way to keep the cost low, first of all, and make it facilitated for people. Like you can go ahead and keep what you have or here upgrade. It's convenience, bro. But they've been talking about this. It's just whatever you choose to listen to. That's up to you.
Yep. I mean, if you've been listening to us, you know that we've been on this boat for the entire time.
Yeah.
We knew that they were going to be pushing things forward. Again, the biggest technological leap ever. This is right out of the mouth of Sarabon, right?
And this handheld situation is also not a new thing. Phil was talking about it and he said, they're not necessarily thinking about it yet. And this was quite a while back, but like, I do see what I use a lot of handhelds. I do see what should be and what's lacking, and this is something that they know exactly what from each handheld they would like to have in theirs, and that's why it's so important for the ROG X, right, to go ahead and for them to kind of step into that space and kind of learn maybe what could be lacking, if anything, that they should incorporate into what they're working on. So this is just like a stepping
we
stone
talked about it here a long time ago, where I said that it would be smart for them to not wait until their next gen console to show us a handheld. They need to pop their cherry first. Now, we at that time didn't know how that would play out, but it's exactly what I said. They're literally popping their cherry with the ROG Xbox Ally and Ally X. They're already showing like what it's going to be able to
Mhm.
do at a baseline, at a starting point. Then by the time next year comes, if everything lines up the way we're hoping and a new console comes out with the handheld that they've been working on, you're talking about now having the evolution of this one, right? The software suite, everything else. What did people like? What did people did not like about
Exactly.
it? And then go into their next console with all that learning and just
Of
implement it
course,
right
with
off
all
the rip.
that knowledge and a lot more confident, right? Once you kind of know when you hear the feedback, we're not talking to like dead space out there. Obviously, they listen, they know, and they tweak. It's not something where they lay back and say, well, they're not happy with that, but we're moving on. No, they're going to take the feedback, they're going to listen, and they're going to incorporate. That's what we known them to do, right? They do it with the games, they do it with everything. So it's a big deal. And Game Pass again, to have that, and be able to just have the Xbox handheld, like that's going to be such a big deal to them when it comes to engagement, which is exactly what they're looking for, and potentially a lot more people signing up to Game Pass.
Yeah.
You've been running around the house. How many are we getting? He's been doing the little dance. How
I'm
many
making
we
sure. I'm like,
pre-ordering?
do you want one? Okay. But do you want one?
That's what he does. He goes, "Oh, the kid,
You want
you
one?
you want one? You getting one?" You get- He's like at a restaurant taking orders. So
Expo's got at least 3 in the bag here so far. Let's see if the little ones if the little ones want it. We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be a good time.
oh,
It's gonna be a good time. All right. Let's continue on with her.
From console to cloud to handheld, AMD and Microsoft are building the future of immersive gaming.
Let me just maybe I'm AMD and Microsoft
yep. Now they're
are
working with
building the
PlayStation
future.
too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They're working with
Got it.
PlayStation, but they
Did
said
they come out
AMD
here
and
and say
Microsoft.
something about was it PlayStation added at some point in any way?
Mm,
You know, no,
that's a good
I
question.
don't think so.
That's a good question. I don't think so. It says AMD and Microsoft
Mm,
are building the future of immersive gaming or immersive gaming. AMD and Microsoft,
yep.
not AMD, Microsoft, and some other hoes. You know what I'm saying? Not AMD, Microsoft, and the
Eh,
broke bitch.
yeah. No, no, no.
AMD and Microsoft are building the future of immersive gaming.
Gaming. We are so excited to be working with Microsoft to bring all of this tech to gamers everywhere.
You could see her. You see, I'm so excited.
No,
So
you didn't.
excited.
No,
I'm so excited. Look at her hand. She literally does it.
go
Oh, you think I'm
back.
playing?
Go back.
Watch. Watch. Look at her hand. Watch.
AMD and Microsoft are building the future of immersive
Watch.
gaming.
Ready?
We are so excited to be working with Microsoft to
Yeah.
bring
We're
all of
Yeah.
this
so
tech to
excited.
gamers
We're
everywhere.
so excited.
Yeah, you see that smile. She's pumped.
She is
She's
pumped.
pumped.
She is pumped.
Because listen, working, with support has to be a different situation. I can only imagine the leftovers that PlayStation's getting.
AMD.
Yeah. Honestly, it has to be nice. Change of pace to
Of course.
to deal with a company who knows what they want,
Mhm.
right? Who knows what they're doing? Because this is the thing.
And who's
AMD
challenging them, right?
Yeah,
I
because
think
AMD needs somebody to say, I need this to
yes.
happen. Like AMD, they're like all these people, AMD, Nvidia, right? What they are problem solvers, right?
Exactly.
They make their chips and they make all this stuff to solve problems. Now, typically the problem is how do we get better graphics and more frame rate, right? But they need someone who's going to push things forward and tell them, listen, I need you to be able to make this chip do this because we are going big time. We want this chip to be able to be in every device and have a baseline that works everywhere.
Yeah.
Like this is what they're doing, and they're pushing the boundaries of what gaming is.
And
Everybody else
again,
is just
she
stuck in
said
the past, bro.
roadmap. roadmap,
Yeah,
right?
this is the future, bro. This is now and into the future. And listen, let's not get it twisted. Remember, back in February of 2024, the biggest technological leap were the words that were done.
Yep,
You don't say that if that's not already happening in front of you. Like, you already know it's happening, right?
of course.
So that's already
You
been
can't just
happening.
throw that out there.
And then the leak happened years before that, where we already knew they had the blueprint of what they were going to do and what they were planning. So this shit has been in the works and has been consistent.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed from the leak to now.
Yep.
It's all been consistent. They're pushing the boundaries. Biggest technological leap. Things that people never thought were possible will be possible. This is excitement, right?
Yeah.
This is exciting shit. And I'm sure AMD's fucking pumped to be finally, in this position to do what they want, right? Because what is AMD? AMD makes graphics card that work everywhere. The shit that they make works everywhere. That, obviously it has to be a motherboard that would accept, AMD, but still, that's what they do, right? They put it everywhere, right? They want their shit everywhere. So for them, think about the investment, right? How much am I going to invest with my partner here if all they want to do is do a chip that's going to work on their one box, or versus having a partner that all this work we're doing is not going to just the one box, is going there, it's going in the cloud, it's going on handhelds, it's going on PCs, like, it's going everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what you want, right? That's what you want as a manufacturer, right? So listen, this was so dope. Again, we talked about some of this stuff on Tuesday from Sarah's point of view, right? But now we got AMD coming in and going ahead and really moving things forward here by not only co-signing it, but kind of extending it forward, right?
Of course.
Putting more emphasis, which is phenomenal.
And it shows they're on the same page. They're working together. They're both. It's a partnership that they're excited to go ahead and have. There's nothing more, odd than one side comes out and then the other one is silent. I think that this goes hand in hand. It's promising to us to have this take place.
Absolutely. I see Sir X-Men in the building. What's up?
Oh
man?
my goodness, Sir X-Men.
Appreciate it,
Let's
brother.
go. Another day, baby. Another day.
That's right. That's right. I see Dion Hayes. He says she's smiling ear to ear because her check going to look
right,
real nice
Dion.
after this goes through. Facts. Facts. I see Gogo Pool in the building. What's up, man?
Yo.
Says a gaming OS might be popular enough for multiple devices and sell a boatload from handheld, mobile, tablet, laptop, desktop. I'm telling you, dude, it's gonna be like, this is gonna be huge, man.
Yeah.
And then of course we have our brother Demo Flow.
Yo,
my dude, thank you so much
Demo
for
was
being here. Thank you for being
good.
a member for 15 months.
Let's go.
God
Thank
damn,
you
that
so
is the
much.
homie.
Thank
Says
you.
a lot of gallopers lying is almost as if their narratives have been destroyed. Next gen of Xbox is here. How? Necromancy? Stupid horses. Yo, I feel that.
Almost as if their narrative has been destroyed. It's
Destroyed. They literally
yes.
have nothing to say anymore. And it's glorious. It's glorious to watch. I can't get enough of it. That's for sure.